Welcome back to my views and news. Breaking news is from Tigray, northern Tigray, from where Amhara forces are withdrawing. It has been confirmed from which areas are Amhara forces withdrawing and who reported the withdrawal. Is it linked to the disarmament since Tigray fighters have surrendered heavy weapons? That is why now we're seeing withdrawal. And pictures are being shared of withdrawing Amhara Special Force soldiers. Secondly, two foreign ministers have arrived in Ethiopia, as we reported in the previous video, from Germany and France. Catherine Colonna and Annalena Baerbock from France and Germany have arrived in Ethiopia. What is the agenda of this visit? We have details for you. Firstly, viewers, another important development towards implementation of peace deal. We know that this week Tigray handed over heavy weapons to Ethiopian National Defense Force. It happened in Agula, where Tigray had collected heavy weapons, and in the presence of African Union observers, Tigray forces handed over heavy weapons. We saw pictures, videos. It was confirmed by African Union mediators, observers, that Tigray had handed over heavy weapons to Ethiopian National Defense Force. And then the African Union observers in a press briefing said that they had launched the process of verification of withdrawal of non-ENDF and foreign forces from Tigray. Under the Pretoria Agreement, Amhara forces, Eritrean military, they are bound to withdraw from Tigray. An important development that Amhara Special Force soldiers have been seen withdrawing from Tigray. Ethiopian National Defense Force just a few minutes ago confirmed in a post that today Amhara Special Force soldiers started their withdrawal from Shire. Not only from Shire, but also from surrounding areas of Shire. Amhara Special Force soldiers withdrew today. You can see some pictures on your screen. The pictures were shared by Ethiopian National Defense Force on its social media page. Ethiopian General, ENDF General about Dasek can be seen here. He's seeing off Amhara Special Force soldiers. And he thanked Amhara Special Force for their services in the war. In a statement, ENDF said today that this withdrawal was part of implementation of the peace deal, that since Tigray had handed over heavy weapons, that is why withdrawal is also ongoing, because the peace deal requires not only handing over of heavy weapons by TPLF, but also it makes it mandatory that non-ENDF and foreign forces should leave Tigray too. Now, does it mean that Amhara forces are out of entire Tigray? No. Ethiopian National Defense Force mentioned areas in the statement from Shire and surrounding areas. What about southern Tigray, Raya? No details. What about Volkayet? No details. What about Salamati? Nothing said by Ethiopian National Defense Force. So this withdrawal is not from entire Tigray. It's from just Shire and neighboring surrounding areas. In Raya, I think I did a video a few days ago, 2 days ago, that in Raya, from some areas, Amhara regional forces, Amhara special forces, they've been told to withdraw. And they withdrew from some areas towards main cities, towards Alamata, and some withdrew out of Raya towards Kobo, towards Sikota. So their withdrawal from Raya is underway, but Ethiopian National Defense Force has not confirmed so far withdrawal of Amhara forces from Volkayet or Raya. So the two zones are still contested. Contentious issue between Tigray and Amhara is Raya and Volkayet. At least from northern Tigray, northwestern Tigray, Amhara forces are withdrawing. Obviously, Fano is already out of these areas. There is no Fano here, reportedly. Eritrean military withdrawing gradually. They were seen in some Tigray cities a few days ago. Maybe, hopefully, Eritrean military will also withdraw from most parts of Tigray in coming days. Very important development, viewers. But thorn issues unresolved. Thorn issues between Tigray and Amhara are Volkayet and Raya. Maybe some behind the scenes understandings have been reached between Tigray regional government and Ethiopian federal government. Let's hope that Amhara region is kept on board, because if understanding is reached without consultation with Amhara region, it could lead to start of another round of confrontation, bitter rivalry between Tigray and Amhara ruling elite and their regional leaders. Secondly, viewers, as I reported in the previous video, two foreign ministers have arrived in Ethiopia. What is their agenda? Who are they? From France and Germany, Catherine Colonna and Annalena Baerbock have arrived in Ethiopia. Two foreign ministers, they have held meetings with PM Abiy. What is the agenda of these visits? Why is now EU concerned about Ethiopia, about Tigray? Because EU suspended financial aid for Ethiopian government last year. EU has been criticizing Ethiopian government, Eritrean government, for their non-compliance with UN resolutions. They've been criticizing Ethiopian government for not cooperating with the UN Inquiry Commission as well, and they want accountability. Suddenly, they are in Ethiopia. What is happening? Firstly, EU and US are going to fund the implementation of peace deal. Implementation of peace deal requires money, because Tigray fighters, tens of thousands, will have to be reintegrated into society. You'll have to give them money, or you'll have to create jobs for them. So you need money for that. You need cash, you need funds. And both EU and US, they have pledged financial support. Without this financial support, it would be difficult for Ethiopian government to implement the peace deal. So that is why they will help Ethiopian government financially for the implementation of peace deal. They'll provide financial aid for reintegration of Tigray forces. And they want to monitor the implementation of peace deal, because they are funding the process of demobilization and reintegration. Secondly, these European countries, they want to repair their fractured relations with Ethiopia. Ethiopia, Africa Union did not make EU part of negotiations in South Africa, which led to peace agreement. EU was excluded. Why? Because EU was putting pressure upon Ethiopian government for accountability for withdrawal of Eritrean military. Now they want to repair their fractured relations with Ethiopian government, and obviously they are concerned about rising Chinese, Russian influence in the Horn of Africa, in Ethiopia, US as well. They want to curtail Chinese, Russian influence. So Horn of Africa is very important for EU and US, and Ethiopia is center of Horn of Africa. Ethiopia, then in East Africa, Ethiopia, Kenya, both are key countries. That is why these visits are not surprising, and they have their agendas as well in terms of increasing their exports to Ethiopia. They are involved in humanitarian work in Ethiopia, both France and Germany. But obviously, humanitarian work is not the only objective of these countries. They want to uh, restore ties, and especially France is hoping to sell military equipment to Ethiopia, and France is very concerned about increasing Turkish influence in the region. Turkey is relatively a new entry in Africa, but gradually we are seeing Turkey is enhancing its influence. It has tremendous clout in Somalia. It is a military base there. Now it has been investing in Ethiopia. It backed Ethiopian military last year, gave combat drones to Ethiopian government that changed the battlefield balance. And France and Turkey are arch rivals. Macron and Erdogan are two arch rivals. France had influence traditionally in Africa, not so much in East Africa. Now, Turkey, France, they're fighting for influence in Africa, in East Africa too. So there are several angles to this visit of two European foreign ministers to Ethiopia.